but let's table the soapbox here for a
Yeah,
second.
so
Go into the structure of how we got here, because I think it's really important for people to understand that are living in SaaS today. Why are we at the point of where we have inexperienced managers? And I say that not saying that managers are bad in that case, but they haven't been equipped. So talk about kind of a little bit of like, how do we get here?
Yeah, I think it's a key part. So I think this is not meant to be damning to an organization or just be unnecessarily critical. The point of this conversation is to honestly reflect on how do we get here? And for someone like me, who's been a part of the SaaS industry since the early 2000s, actually right about the time this chart stops, I lived this, I experienced this. And many of the people watching this have lived and experienced it as well. So what happened? Well, what happened was we had a transformational shift in the technology space of very few companies trying out this new model called SaaS. And the likes of Salesforce and others proved it was an incredible machine of growth and was the future of where software technology was going. So what inevitably happened? Growth, which was good, but it has a side effect. The side effect of growth is scale, and the side effect of growth is talent demand. So what happened over the last 20 years is 12,000 companies were created. And what do all those companies need? People. So they sucked the people out from the industry. There wasn't enough of them. And then they had to go to colleges to get new talent because there was no other talent available. And they brought in recent college grads and said, well, we can't get experienced talent. Let's just get anybody and we'll teach them internally. The problem was that many organizations didn't know how to do that. And no organization had enough time to do it. And so VCs piled on the money and said, grow, grow, grow. And so that recent college grad became an SDR. That SDR was pushed into sales as soon as humanly possible, became a rep. And as soon as that rep kind of got settled in their seat, sort of figured it out, they were pushed into management because they had to keep moving the machine forward. So what was created through this was this basically unsolvable demand of people and moving everyone through the chain at the speed of growth, not the speed of capability. And so people were getting pushed up, whether they were ready or not, because the organization just needed the machine to keep moving. And what you created by doing this is an inexperienced person leading an inexperienced person leading an inexperienced person. Yeah. And that is the state that we live in today in SaaS. Is the average tenure of a manager in SaaS has less than 4 years of work experience. Forget management experience. It's not their fault. And the point here is we are not judging managers for this. We're judging the industry for this. And what we're saying is that because of our demands for growth, we pushed a bunch of people into roles they were not ready for, and then we abandoned them. Yeah. And that is what we're here to solve. We're here to come alongside your organization and, more importantly, your managers to say, we get it. This is the first time you're seeing this movie. You likely have not done this before. And there have been very few people that have come alongside you say, this is what management's all about and how to do it. And that is specifically what we're here to solve.
Yeah. And then you compound the fact of what happened with COVID, and you also compound the fact of, the great resignation where all these people left. And then as a manager, or maybe a first-time manager, you're not only having to deal with learning the management skills, which they're skills, and then dealing with rep turnover, dealing with organizations, layoffs, and all this turmoil that's happened over the last 4 years in SaaS. You've had a really tough job as a first-time manager or second-time manager where you maybe have 2 years of experience, but your experience is chaos, right? And you haven't been sat down and taken through a journey of going, hey, here's my development plan for you as a leader, because leadership takes time to learn. A simple way you can think about this is an SDR has a competency to say, I can be an SDR now, right? Most organizations have that certification. Same with a rep. Do you have a certification for a manager? I would say out of the 160 organizations we've worked with, 2 of them have had it of any sort of competency. 2 out of 160. And these are some of the top companies in the world.
Yeah.
And it's a very fundamental flaw of going, let's put all our money towards the field and then put all of our investment in technology. But we're missing the biggest linchpin to success. It's a manager. It's the person that you have to talk to on a Monday morning that could make your life miserable or make your life really empowered and feel like that you're continuing to grow and that manager's helping you do that. But if managers don't know how to lead, your chance of success is very low. And so I think that's part of the series that we want to help go through and look at what's the core issues that we're seeing, because we can't talk about any solutions until you really understand the core issues that an organization has. And for your frontline managers out there that, are younger and more inexperienced, this is for you. And it's also for some of those older managers that have been doing the same thing for 10 years. And those are a big part of what's crippling organizations today is somebody trying to take their experience they learned 20 years ago at Oracle and trying to apply it to today's society. And the reality is it's not accurate. And so we're going to help kind of break down those fundamental gaps that we're seeing in the root causes in the kind of follow-on videos. But again, the purpose isn't to knock organizations. The purpose is to knock the managers. SaaS has just grown extremely quick over the last 20 years. And because of that, there's been a talent shortage. And when you have a talent shortage, you start to have gaps that persist to limit growth. So
and
stay tuned for the follow-on videos. We'll kind of go through it.
Yeah, I think the key thing here as we embark on this is to really get super clear on what the foundational problem is. Because if you assess the problem correctly, the solution in some cases is completely obvious. And so the purpose here is to really clarify that the problem is you have an organizational, industry-wide challenge, which was talent. You solve that by bringing in inexperienced people and putting them in roles and hoping they can kind of step up to the plate. And in most cases, they were set up to fail. Yeah. And so what we believe is the proper solution to this is to go rally around that frontline leader and say, no one's paying attention to you and no one is equipping you to be successful. We're lobbing technology at you and we're lobbing things at the front line, but no one's touching the connection point between the frontline execution and the executive outcome is management. And management, we believe, is the linchpin to solving this industry-wide challenge. So we appreciate you listening in. Please stay tuned. This is just the beginning. And what you're going to see coming soon is a really deeper understanding of the impacts that this has for an organization. And then maybe most importantly, what can you do about it? What is the solution to solve this?
Yeah.